to start. Let me read. Great. Great. So welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. And it's good to have all of us here again. I even I can't believe that it's the masterclass we did last week. Obviously, that was quite intense and different. But today we have a little bit of a more relaxed tempo as we look at this phenomenon again, which is Doge versus SHIBA. And again, it's a community edition. And I think I've written here something interesting, which one can make you rich. So there's a gentleman that I thought would be able to join, but he's in a different time zone. So I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to join us. His name is Chris. And I think he's actually part of our community now. And he said he bought half a billion SHIBA or something. I don't even know what that looks like. So I don't know how much he spent. But I thought it was very interesting, that people are really jumping on some of these things. Again, as you know, our approach is we try to spend some time to look at it, look at from a certain perspective, and that's what we're going to do in this session, So let me just post the next thing. Okay, great. So I think I'm here now. Let's now get into the session. So maybe, thank you, Bianca. Oh, this thing keeps on showing up. Now, I think you've seen this quote. I'm not even going to really read that again, because thankfully most of you are familiar with it. And then I thought to just add this one, which I thought is an interesting observation, that in my experience, I found that most people seem to prefer to be entertained instead of being educated. If you look at, and this happens everywhere, go to YouTube, look at maybe 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. You'll find probably, 1 million views. And John Maxwell is somebody's taught for so many years. About a picture of a video or a cat will have, close to a billion views. And you wonder, what is this, So it's human nature. It's one of those things that I think you observe and is just interesting. And I'm saying this to say that we have to be in the minority. We have to be those who would rather go upstream than go with the crowd, because the crowd would rather be entertained. They'd rather watch, cat videos. I mean, no offense to anybody who loves cats. I'm indifferent when it comes to either cats or dogs. Interesting that the subject matter today will involve dogs, and they are very popular. And it's very interesting, even in terms of how popular they have become. You're familiar with this? Registration closed. Ooh. I think you need somebody who's asking for a link on the chat, Bianca. I think just send them the thing, the link that we have. I don't know.
Well, it's fine. I'll take care of.
Yeah. I don't know how they'll join. I don't know. I've not had that problem. So I think this is just really the big picture of where we are as a community and what we are about, and the fact that we are continually growing in knowledge. We are continually evangelizing. We are continually spreading the message. And our scope and point of focus remains the continent and beyond. And beyond here means the diaspora, wherever they find themselves. And again, our intention is to grow value. There's a lot that will be shared. I don't know whether that's materialized, but probably before the end of, maybe in the coming month. Let me rather put it that way. I think we are just really pretty much on the last bits of our sessions before we close. I'll announce that. You'll see in the end what I mean by that. But again, our mission continues, and it's really great that we've continued to grow through this period. And thank you for being part of that. Now, we'll do a quick scan of the markets just to get a little bit of sentiment and trend. And I think this is now a standard fixture, where we look. I think from just even that perspective, this probably is really, really tending to be green. I think this is where we are. Things are bullish. Everybody's excited. I see. I think our champion is here in terms of what's happening to Bitcoin. Raphael, thank you so much for keeping us updated. I didn't even know that Bitcoin has hit 66,000 now. When I posted earlier, it was like, I think it had just crossed the all-time high, which was 64 something, which is really, really interesting and exciting. And yeah, so here it is. I think the roundup, which is what helps us to get a view, but just a high level picture. Bianca, maybe for the sake of the guys who are trying to join, I think they should be, if I'm not wrong, they should just punch in the ID, and I think it will ask them for a PIN code or something. I can't remember. I think we had a PIN code somewhere. I just need to check if I can find it in the meantime. They should just enter the code and then they should enter. I mean, because they probably might not be able to register now anymore. I don't know. I didn't even know that this thing could clock. I mean, it's the first time I'm seeing that people are struggling. But it's fine. We'll make sure that we accommodate and have everybody in here. So let me just check, just in case there's a PIN code somewhere. I think there should be a PIN code. Oh God, I know the reason why. It's because of the registrations. We've reached 100. It assumes, I didn't know that it had such a limitation. I think it assumes that because of that somebody else can't register. So now that's a limitation. But they can enter just the PIN code.
They can just enter, yeah. I just copied it from the Zoom link now. I just copied the link and I posted it in the group.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing that seems to be working out. Yeah, 100 registrations. Okay, interesting. So let me go through very quickly. So if you look, the biggest news is obviously Bitcoin crossing past its all-time high, which was, as I said, 64 something, which has updated us that it has hit 66,000.
Tim, I'm not sure. I can't hear you. I just want to check in with all the other people. Are you also not hearing Tim?
Yes, we can't hear Tim, Bianca.
Yeah, I think maybe he's having a connection issue.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Sorry, my connection dropped actually.
There you go.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, this internet thing. And I know you probably may have lost my screen, but it's okay, as long as you can hear me. So the drivers are actually, number one, the screen will resume at some point, don't worry about it. We'll try to reconnect. Can you still see, can you see the screen? I'm not sure.
We can't see the screen, but we can hear you. So we'll wait for the screen to come up.
Oh, okay. I'm just resharing it again.
It's coming
So
up.
the big,
There you go.
the big news, and thank you guys. I should have actually kept that. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. So the big news is Bitcoin, and why? Why Bitcoin, you know, hitting the all-time high and going past that? It's because of this thing they call a Bitcoin ETF, which has just been approved, and it has actually started trading, I think, yesterday. And day two has really been crazy, and that's why we're seeing the numbers that we're seeing, at the moment. And of course, if you look at the chain 360 of this, is the regulators gave the green light, which is the Securities Exchange Commission in the US. So now officially, Bitcoin is tradable, it's in the mainstream, it's available, and it's really for institutions and all of that. And as you saw last week when we talked about why Bitcoin and why should actually, this is the one thing that, this is the one coin that I was speaking about very strongly. And the fact that I even said that I've never really taught a masterclass on anything. And it was the first time I was really teaching on Bitcoin. And it was based on a very solid understanding, and the markets are responding as such. People are saying this thing will go to 75,000. Others are saying it's 100. There are all sorts of pundits, but for us, it's not really so much about that. It's about the fact that we have done a very strong fundamental analysis, and we are convinced that there's a position here for us to be able to take advantage of. So this table really gives you a view. Now, interestingly, the gentleman there who you see and the map stops in 2018, it should actually go to 2021. Because last week only, James Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, said no, Bitcoin is worthless, even though his company is among those who will be taking part in this ETF. Even though his company is actually offering exposure to customers. So again, we talk about influencers who have a say in the market, and both on the positive side and as well as on the negative. But he's obviously an example of somebody not to follow, because there's no consistency. Yes, maybe his conviction is that, and we respect that. But the reality is that, JP Morgan is invested in this space alongside other key institutions, as we learned last week. So again, this is a framework that we'll be using from time to time, and we'll be talking about this just to give us a big picture of what's happening and what is moving the market. And then I think the Coinbase NFT, Coinbase has launched an NFT this week. That's also one of the highlights to take note of. Now, as we continue, and welcome everyone who's just joined. So we're going to talk about memes today. We're going to talk about memes, and in particular, we're going to talk about Doge versus SHIBA Inu. And if you see here, I think they are, I'm sure you may have come across this ones. In life, the memes are everywhere. I mean, there's this kid who I think trended on the internet because he looked very serious. He was writing somewhere, and all sorts of memes emerged out of that. I think you're familiar with the Bernie Sanders meme early this year, as well as I think sometime last year with Will Smith, when it came to the situation of his family and his relationship, I think with it was just something to do with his I can't even remember what it was, but anyway, it spawned some meme. Of course, we have our former president, Jacob Zuma. I think people have used this to mean same WhatsApp group, I don't know. And then the president, I think famously, during the COVID season. So, I mean, memes are everywhere. So in crypto, I mean, we have all these sorts of memes. I like the first one quite a lot. Because that's the dichotomy of crypto. On one end, authorities would tell you how much it is risky and volatile, but the moment you make money, they want to actually, collect tax. And, it's just really interesting. All these sorts of memes. I actually like the Nike one on just hodl it. Just do it, just hodl it, And that's really, I think, is consistent with what we've been saying here. And then there's some people who've aged, I'm not sure whether gracefully or not. I think this is Jack Dorsey, if I'm not wrong, the CEO of Square and Twitter, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, the memes are everywhere. Memes are part of life. Memes are everywhere. It's amazing, what these things mean. So I think I'm underlying this to say that because of the pervasiveness of laughter and people just really trying to find humor in everything, it's almost like a point of relief in our lives. This is why we resort to memes, right? And so I'm just going to go through the usual, which is to say, again, in terms of how we've been doing this, we've tried to give a holistic view versus to champion a particular position. Obviously, what we did with Bitcoin, what we've done with Doge, and what we're doing today with SHIBA is just very unique takes. Not necessarily prescriptive, but guiding, and that's really the view that we seek to continually offer to the community. Now, again, I think this goes without saying that, we learn, but the most important is that we engage and apply these ideas at the end of the day. There will be quite a focus on this type of application-focused learning in the coming period. You will probably will get to talk about that, as I said, in coming sessions. So today we're going to look at Doge and SHIBA, just a brief history. We're going to look at an evaluation framework, looking at both of these coins. And then we're going to look at and talk strategy, actually. This is where we get to unmute and talk. And then I think, and then there's just a few other updates that I think we're going to cover. Good. So in terms of our assets, and shout outs to Denise, I think you are among the few people who've reached out and said, hey, I actually really want to spend time to learn everything. So we've obviously covered quite a lot over the last period. So these are some of the assets that are coming through, as well as we'll add on to this today, what you'll call a coin strategy framework. I'll explain how that fits in. So I thought to just really simplify, and I'll probably maybe spend a minute here to say, what do we have and what should we think of going forward? So through this years, from February, we've learned different things. Mostly, I think more than 80% we've covered coins. Obviously, last week we did the masterclass on Bitcoin. And last year I did a masterclass again on Bitcoin, but that was something under Binance. And then we've done deep dives, whether it was altcoin exchange or some of the platforms that we were looking at, on whether it was P2P or something that, or staking that Theo or Kevin taught us. And then we've looked at series, mindset, whether Bianca or myself, and these have been the things that we've looked at in terms of our catalogs. And all these are available for members. All of these are available. Now, we've also looked at mining. I've done 1 and 2. Part 3 is not done because it's going to be an artifact, an actionable element. And, I'll share the details on that when everything comes on stream, because remember I said we're going to lay a foundation and then there'll be an output, which would mean something that we can all participate in. So we've done crypto mining part 1 and 2. The recordings for those are available. And then on DeFi, we've done an introduction, which Diana helped us through early in the year. An introduction to DeFi. I also did a session on an introduction to NFTs. So effectively, this picture you see here is the ecosystem. When we say crypto, think about it this way. There are other legs and building blocks below, which I think champions will get to know about that. I think, and we'll have more details around what those things are, whether it's Web3 or blockchain itself or whatever it is. But in terms of effective areas which are topical, which I think are useful for us, these are the areas to think about. And for the things which we will announce, which are very, very exciting, I just don't want to get ahead of myself and maybe prejudice that, because I still need to engage with champions and make sure that we shape those correctly. They'll be themed around these areas, just for simplicity. So coins, we'll always talk about whether it's the top 5 or, just going to coin market cap, mining, as I said, there's something that is in the works, DeFi the same, and NFTs as well. So we're going to really simplify it and look at it. And our learning is going to probably bubble wrap around these areas. Now, let's continue. And now, look at Doge. Some of you have seen this slide, but I'm going to just keep it crisp. And then it's going to give us a perspective to look at SHIBA as well. So for our purposes and for our sake, so SHIBA, Doge is among really the oldest coins that have been there. Actually, I think it's second only, or maybe just among the first 5 to emerge after Bitcoin, because in 2013, it emerged and it was created again, as a meme to just mock and make a mockery of what was happening then, by 2 guys. I think, if I remember, IBM and software developers and all of that. They kind of cloned Bitcoin, made some minor changes, and then just removed the cap. And it's whereas Bitcoin is limited to 21 million, this one is like open top, like bottomless. And then this thing kind of took a life of its own very quickly. And by 2015, the founders disappeared because they said, we don't know what this is and we don't want to be associated with it. So they disappeared because it already took off on the internet and had a subculture on Reddit and other social media platforms. Interestingly, it found use cases for fundraising, initiatives like water initiative in Kenya, the Jamaican bobsleigh team. Interestingly, they are now using SHIBA Inu to raise money again for 2022 Olympics Jamaican team, bobsleigh team. So interesting. So you kind of see, such use cases emerging. In this case, I think they're using SHIBA Inu, but I think previously they used Doge. And then again, because of the price, it's still very low. Even today, it's less than $1 or less than 50 cents, at least for Doge. We'll see the one for SHIBA as we go along. And then interestingly, it uses the Shiba Inu dog image. So I'll talk a little bit about that. It's Shiba Inu is just a type of a dog, and it's, I think Shiba Inu is Japanese, if I remember correctly. And then, as I said, it just was used mostly to express emotions on the internet, as you may have seen, whether it's like the shape of a bread and all these sorts of feelings that people had. And then 2021, things change completely and forever, I guess, when one Elon Musk was pulled into the picture, as in quotes, the face of Doge, or the Doge father, or the CEO, or kind of really that person who represented it. Other celebrities also joined in, and that's really when everybody got excited about Doge. Now, so we'll see in the use cases. I mean, again, briefly looking at SHIBA, it started a year ago. Can you believe it? August 2020, a year ago. SHIBA Inu. And it's created by an anonymous creator called Ryoshi. I can't comprehend this. Maybe some of you did mathematics. 1 quadrillion tokens. It has 1 quadrillion tokens. I don't know what that is. It's 1,000 to the power of 5. Okay, I don't know whether your calculator can compute that. It's modeled after Doge. It's also, and this one is created on top of the Ethereum blockchain using the ERC20 protocol. And then this person actually donated 50% to Vitalik, who is the co-founder of Ethereum, immediately after creating it. And then Vitalik, I think earlier this year, if I remember, he donated actually $1 billion to India. There was a whole, like, almost a scream. A team was like, yeah, why is he donating, useless coins that are worth nothing to India? I don't know. I think Uli will tell us how much that 1 billion would be worth today if they kept it and hodled, that is. And then the rest of it he sent to a dead address, which essentially means he burned 50% or whatever was remaining. And the use case similar to Doge is that it's a meme token and it's used mostly for transactions. There are other developments. Which is actually probably noteworthy from a developmental perspective. That is, there's something called SHIBA Swap, which is one of the additions that these guys, based on the money that was coming in, there was a lot of money coming in to the ecosystem. They thought to build a DEX or decentralized exchange platform that might offer, DeFi and all these other things. And it has more than 500,000 users. Can you imagine? Just within a year. So guys, and I think at this point, maybe if any one of you wants to say something or comment, the Doge people in the house, this is your opportunity to say something if you want to share something. Uli, I know you've been very active on Doge, on SHIBA. I don't know what your thoughts are as far as the opportunity of SHIBA before we get to the technical analysis, which we are going to do right now, technical and fundamentals. And I know you are the man who has done quite a lot in that space. Do you have anything perhaps to share just on that in terms of your thoughts on SHIBA in particular? Because I know you've been quite active with it. I don't know whether you can hear us, Uli. So as Uli maybe interacts or shares, I just wanted to share, this is SHIBA Swap. As I said, it's a platform they built. Now, you'll see in the analysis that there's really nothing much happening with Doge. Doge, it just carries on and there's nothing really happening. But these guys have actually bothered to build a platform which is going to offer more than just what they are doing, which is, again, the transaction aspect of it is almost a given, but there's more. There's other tokens like SHIB, Leash, Bone, which are available on this SHIBA Swap platform of theirs. So this is something that, again, as we will see next, I think let's maybe rather look at, and this may be the question which I'll open up to you guys. And those of you who have bought SHIBA, please, or you just have an opinion, don't keep quiet. Theo, you know yourselves. Now, if just looking at what I've shared so far, and maybe what you know, which one would you like put your, let's say you have 100 Rand or $20, I don't know. Which one would you like say, yeah, I'm going to put my money here and why? Guys, unmute. It's community edition, so I'm not teaching a master class today. So I'm expecting people to unmute and all of that. Tawanda.
Well, the truth for me, it's I really have been out of it. What I've just done of late, or what I've done, I think in the past 3 months, you'll notice I haven't actually moved my stock anyhow, except for the SHIBA, which once I got to a win, I just got rid of. Whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, I really don't know. But to your point, you spoke about the Jamaican bobsleigh team using, is it the SHIBA that they're using to raise
they're
money?
using SHIBA now to raise money, yeah.
So already that becomes something worthwhile, something to think about. If it's got that much recognition that they feel they can actually use it, I think I would put my money back into SHIBA.
Interesting. That's actually a very interesting take. And you see the number of users has grown significantly. Imagine just August last year, and then you have like more than 500,000 users. That's really significant.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Any other views? I mean, again, guys, this is our session, so I'm not the expert here. I'm just teaching what I know, and it's open for all of us. Uli, I don't know whether you wanted to, or you can say something from your experience. I know you've been more active on this particular coin, SHIBA in particular, or any other person really who may want to share anything, or even anyone who may. Yeah, Bianca.
So, Tim, I would count myself as part of the novice crypto enthusiast. I'm learning, and I'm trying to do what I'm learning. So for me, Doge versus SHIBA, I'm not 100% in the clear understanding of what these two coins represent and what they are doing out in the market. But if I've got 1,000 rands, then I would take 500 and get some Doge and 500 and get some SHIBA, and like that's it.
I like that. I like that. That's street smart. It's like, hedge yourselves, Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't know which one will turn in your favor, so rather have both on your side.
Exactly. I actually like that approach. I'm with you. And in fact, already you've given us one of the tips on strategy. Theo, what are your thoughts? I know you've been big on Doge in the past. And then we'll go into the analysis part. Theo?
Yeah, I'm with Bianca on this. I'm keeping the two.
Okay, good. So guys, I think let's get to the session of the analysis, which is really to give us a clear eye view to answer the question that Bianca has and the uncertainty we may have. Now, if you look at both, let me just put it this way, big picture, they're very similar. The variations and the differences will just be limited. So again, you remember this framework which we've been using, which gives we look at the core thing in a coin is utility. What does it do? What problem does it solve? Now, the biggest problem that most, or in fact both would solve, is adoption. That's the biggest thing I would say. It's essentially awareness of crypto and getting people who have not been involved before to actually get in and dip their toes in. Now, if you look at, even in the US, Doge, they did quite a lot. They were even rolling out ATMs. I mean, I think Mark Cuban was saying, yeah, he's going to have it as a form of payment, meaning it has gone through the legwork of being formalized. This is Doge now. The ones in red, the additions in purple would be probably additional commentary that might be specific to to SHIBA. But for Doge, and I would say SHIBA, these coins play in their utility will actually mostly be in that space of adoption and in low-hanging fruit type of in transactions like donations, goodwill, charity, that kind of thing. So if you have a charity out there, this might be a coin that you could use. Even on our platform, I'll talk about it at the end. SHIBA is actually our coin that we're using on the crypto community to say, hey, I've sent somebody SHIBA. I sent it to one of the guys who was speaking at our summit. And it was more just a token of saying, hey, I appreciate, I didn't want to send him, or at least it was interesting because we spoke and like, which coin? I said, okay, SHIBA, okay, fine, good, send it to him, and there'll be opportunities like that to say, hey, I'm buying you a cup of coffee or a token or whatever it is. And it's like, it's just, you do it. And then obviously, again, the adoption aspect. So in terms of, is this a scalable problem in terms of the utility? And the answer is yes, there's so many people out there. There's so many causes out there. I know, Immaculate, this might be interesting to you because I know you run a charity. We may want to look at how do you use something like Dogecoin or SHIBA Inu to be able to raise money out there, to be able to get people to contribute, to be able to have people participate in your cause. So it's not just all or nothing, and it's not just this, oh, okay, it's a joke, there's no value to it. Now, and then in terms of some impact in terms of the goodwill space, of course, that's high. Demand and supply, the fundamentals are completely different from Bitcoin because it's inflationary, meaning it's bottomless. I mean, 1 quadrillion is a lot. Something like the algorithm, again, it's just a copy of, all of these are actually copies of Bitcoin. The difference is that they removed the limits and they increased the number. So you find they've increased the number to 1 quadrillion for SHIBA. The other one is, I don't know, it's continuous growing. I think they release 5 billion coins every year. So it's just really crazy like that. And then for SHIBA, for Doge, they are not building anything. As I've mentioned, for SHIBA, they're actually building something on top, which is the SHIBA Swap exchange, which is quite interesting. And then the use cases, we've talked about the communities, use cases like tipping somebody or sharing something with somebody. Again, it sits in a hype space where it's a meme, it's a joke, people kind of use it. And there's a lot of celebrity hype also that comes in alongside that. In terms of the founders, both are similar in the sense that the founders are not known, or they are known and they ran away, which gives people license to just say, okay, this is ours, it belongs to us. Nobody's claiming it, nobody's controlling it and forcing us to go in a certain direction. They have actually left it to the community, and that's the power of community if you think about it. Now, and I think I've talked about the fact that it's community driven, and both of these are growing in terms of the numbers. In terms of the roadmap and delivery, and the way it sits in a speculative space. It rides on media attention. There's a lot of media attention to SHIBA Inu and Doge. Both, there's a lot of attention. Obviously, in the last couple of months, it's been mostly SHIBA versus Doge. And then, I mean, you have people like Elon Musk who've been, whenever they tweet, the price moves. Interestingly, he seems to be involving himself now in SHIBA Inu, including another one called Floki Inu, which might be trending again soon. So I think the last time I said this, the one that you took action and you bought SHIBA, I said, yeah, it looks like SHIBA might be big. And I actually bought coins sometime at that time. I don't know, Floki Inu might be interesting. We'll look at that later. For those of you who just want to say, I have play money, I have $100 to play with or 1,000 rand, I want to just throw it out there for fun. I mean, why not? Why not put it in there and see what happens? Now, in terms of, again, evaluation, continuation, so things that like volume are quite critical. The highest volume, of course, I mean, we've seen the numbers skyrocket. This is fresh from today, 40 billion for Bitcoin. These two are close in terms of volume. Doge is 1.3, SHIBA is 1.2, and it's, again, just 1 year old. It tells you that there's a lot of action. The listings are liquidity is high. That's a good sign. Exchanges, they're available on all the mainstream exchanges. You'll see them, the ones listed that are listing this. Number 9, it's in the top 10, Doge is in the top 10, and then this SHIBA is in top 20. And then the model, again, is community driven. I personally find it very fascinating because when something is community driven, I think if you think of us, that's really the aspiration, that we have a structure that says, even if Tim is not there, this thing will continue to run and people will actually embrace it as their own. Because that's really how we will be able to reach many people. I pray one day that we'll be able to say, yeah, we've reached 200,000 people. We've reached 500,000 people, with what we're trying to do, because we are about a community, and that's the power that we have. And this platform show us that. Now, in terms of integration and other things, not much. Use case is basic, and then the price you can see. I mean, the lowest obviously is that 0.000, I don't know, whatever, 2.7, meaning you can actually, it's true that the guy could buy 500 million of that because it's very cheap. So you've seen it. Yeah, this is just really an objective view. Hopefully, this is data that can help you to see that this is something that is happening, and the entry points where you might be able to get into this. Good. So let's see. So let's look at the returns, because I think in terms of substantive, and I think this is where I hope Uli can unmute, because he has quite a he's had quite an episode with some of this, and I think it might be useful just to hear from him if he's able to hear us and he's able to unmute. Uli, if you're able to speak, great. If not, you can type. But in terms of the returns over a 12-month period, if you had put $100, if you had put 100 Rand into Doge, you would have gotten 12,000% increase. And that, I think, it's actually slightly over 12,000. This I approximated because I couldn't really get a number, but it is even on the lower side. I think there's a quote of up to about 16,000%. That gives you, if it is Rand, 100 Rand invested, it's about 20,000. Can you imagine? 100 Rand giving you 20,000, or 100 shillings giving you 20,000 within just a year. That's crazy. And then now SHIBA takes the cake. In slightly over a year, you would be a millionaire if you are putting that. So Tawanda, maybe we should come to you, my friend. It looks like you're swimming in money. 1,000, 1.6.
Don't even, let's not go there too.
Emotions, okay. So what I'm saying, guys, is I want you to see the application of this. I am not promoting this coin, neither am I discouraging. I'm just giving information so that you can see it for yourself. I know enough people who have gone and who really put money in this thing, and really it moved. And these are the numbers: 1.6 million % in like slightly over a year, which is in fact 14 months to be exact. August last year to October. This is when it's actually hitting all-time high, I think, in the last few days or so. So yeah, that's just perspective for you, in terms of what is possible in crypto. And you cannot really predict. You cannot predict that because it has happened like this, because there are guys who are saying, is it too late? Can we jump in? Most of the time, you jump in and then, the price pulls back, and then I don't know, I can just say this and there'll be a recording of it for you to look at it. I think the likes of the other coins which are themed on the same, because again, it's just a dog, as I said, it's a pet, it's a dog. If you look at something like, which we'll look at shortly, Floki Inu, I think it's super cheap. I see, Roderick, now I understand why the banks hate crypto. Yes, it's crazy. So I'll show you guys. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let me just continue. And just mentioning Uli. Uli, if you want to unmute yourself, man, go ahead. I mean, just, share your experience from the markets. I know you've been more trading it than holding it. If you can be able to hear us, that is.
Hi. Sorry, I was busy with someone. How are you?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, basically, Doge and SHIBA, for me, is not for long-term investments. I mean, I put a couple hundreds on SHIBA. I never bought one single Doge. Because personally, I don't like meme coins. I think they're just a waste of resources of the crypto market. Yeah, but I did invest a couple hundreds on SHIBA. Yeah, and then I traded the hell out of it, and yeah, I made quite a decent profit on trading SHIBA, and that's it. With SHIBA, it's basically only most for trading for me. As an investment, long-term investment, only maybe I wouldn't put more than $500 or 500 euros on it.
So maybe Uli, from your experience, because I know you do trading, so it's obviously slightly different to what we are speaking from those who want to buy and hold a little bit like Tawanda. So how is the movement of SHIBA, or how has it been the last couple of weeks, like just from a price action perspective and the volumes and all of the market dynamics?
Yeah, it's been, since it hit the 3500s, it's been consolidating into a triangle. So a triangle pattern. I think it's gonna probably test, if I'm not mistaken, the 2500s. Yeah, 2500s again, and then you'll probably try to break out from that triangle. It's a bullish triangle, so the path of least resistance will probably be up. Yeah, it rarely a bullish triangle breaks down to the downside. I mean, breaks to the downside. 80% it's for the upside. So I would expect, if it breaks the bullish triangle on the upside, I would probably expect another, probably I would say something like another 100% to the upside, and then correct a little bit for the wave 4, because currently I think we are on wave consolidating between wave 1 and wave 2. So we still have to go for wave 3, probably another 150%. And then from there, correct to wave 4, and then for wave 5.
Okay. I think the last one for me, Uli, I know you probably mentioned it previously, but the 66,000% in terms of your return, how is that possible even? And I know it's from a trading perspective, but just, was that like an up, you meaning you're trading it up and down, or is it just trading it up, obviously with leverage? I don't know, just for those of us in the class who are interested to know, because I mentioned that as something that it's mind-boggling, quite honestly. Just share whatever you can on that.
Yeah, it was basically 3 days of trading, and I was doing, I had 25x leverage. Yeah, 25x leverage. As soon as I got the signal that it's going to be long, going up for long term, I entered, if I'm not mistaken, let me just see, I entered SHIBA trading around the 800s. Yeah, when it was 829. Yeah, 829. So I was trading, I was doing like scalping during all these 3 days, which is something that's very difficult to do. Scalping on I would scalp between the 5 minutes time frame. But I would, usually when I'm scalping, I look at the 5 minutes, I look at the 30 minutes, and then at the 2 hour. Okay. Yeah. So I was scalping on the 5 minutes. So if you do that, you basically, every 1% move that you do on scalping with a 25x, it equals to 25%. So if SHIBA goes 1%, my profit goes 25% up. So if it goes 100% up, it will go up by 2,500%.
Wow.
And that's but it's the same thing if it goes the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm longing, I'm trading, if I'm longing SHIBA and it goes down 1%, I lose 25%.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, very risky. So you need to manage your positions very well. Know where to enter. And when I'm shorting, let's say when I started trading, So I entered around 829. That was my entry. And I would never close my position like 100%. So as soon as it hit my targets, I would close maybe 25% or
I see.
50,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or 50%. And then it would retrace maybe, I would say, to the 50% of the current price. Then I would add more to my position, okay? Double my position there, and then go again for another leg. And that's how you basically get the 66,000%.
Was that within a day or a couple of days?
No, 3 days. 3 days.
3 days. Wow. 66,000%. Wow.
Yeah.
So guys, I know you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with this. There's a reason why I've asked Uli this. We've had a discussion, and something I'm debating, and we're trying to see. Would you guys be interested in a session? I know we don't do trading here. It's not necessarily what we teach, but because we have individuals like Uli who really understand, they've been doing this for a while. I just thought, it might be useful to have a session at some point. Would you guys be keen to have a session where we can have somebody, Uli, set up, just take us through like a kind of a class format, where we can talk through some of these ideas in a bit more detail, and you can just expand it. Because again, you see at 66%, and it's like it's trading, and obviously it's high risk and whatnot, but I think it's useful. I don't know. Just type on the chat if you think you'd be interested in something like that. I'm just curious for those who may want to learn. Just type a yes if you're keen, so that just type. I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one because we have quite a bit to cover. If anybody would be interested, if you're not interested, obviously, I mean, then Uli would not be available to do that. Yes, you're a genius. Yes, that's the commentary in the chat. In this game, well done. Okay, let's see if those who are interested. Again, it's knowledge, guys. We're not costing you anything. It will obviously cost a bit of time to just really plan that, and then those who will be interested will just come and learn whatever they can learn, and it's baby steps. We're learning from each other. That is great, cool. So it looks like the sentiment, there are quite a number were interested, and we probably will set up something like that along the way. We'll see when that will be. Cool. So let's talk about strategy. I think we've probably covered this. We may not spend a lot of time because I think, is there a change, Bianca, now that you know this, you know what Uli has said, what did you change in your allocation? Yeah. How much would you allocate to SHIBA? How much would you allocate to Doge? Again, I'm just going to open this up and then we'll have a bunch of slides to run through.
Well, Tim, Uli comes from a trading background, and I come from an investor background. I will stick with my strategy of 500, 500.
50-50. Okay. Let's see anybody who's changing. I mean, Theo, are you changing from 50-50? Are you increasing one? Which bag will be bigger? Anyone, guys? I mean, this is, again, it's our community session, so it's not, it's our session. So any one of us can comment. I don't want to just pick names. And Uli does both, by the way. So it's not from a point of he's just trading. He actually invests, and he's invested quite in a different set of coins. Very soon he should give us an index, some of the favorite coins that he's investing in for our, okay. 50-50. Anybody who has a different view, you can type actually what your strategy will be. Just type it. I think that will be easier. Anybody who's doing 50-50 other than different, something different, just type it, guys. I mean, I'll be very worried if nobody's typing anything. Okay, 60 SHIBA and Doge, 40 hodl. That's Roderick. I want to read your comments. I'm gonna pause here. I'm not gonna move any slides until I see you guys typing. I've been talking the most. So no slide will move until I see everybody typing something. Let's see. 30, Lena, 30% SHIBA. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Anybody who's saying, no, I'm not going to invest anything. Zero. Like, I'm not putting my money here. Rafa, I'm not seeing anything new typing there, my friend. I'm going to call names now. You know me. Okay, 60, okay, 50, 50, 30, 70. Let's see some ratios here. Shiko, 50, 50, okay. Okay, okay. Nice, I'm new in the game. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we want to know, yeah. I'm new in the game and a friend asked me to look into SHIBA this week. So at least I hope you can be able to share with them what you've learned. Of course, we'll make the material available again for you to share with your friend. Again, we are doing this for the community. We're not doing it for any other reason. Good. So I think we have a view on strategy. I'm going to share something here. Let's see, which one is it? So I'm going to, maybe I'll spend a few minutes on this one and then I'm going to go to share my screen to show you some of the coins which are there. And then pretty much I'll have one announcement. Okay, 0, because thank you, Immaculate. Okay, 30 Doge, 70 SHIBA, great. I love this, And then Immaculate is saying, no, she's just hearing it for the first time, so she's not investing. Now, guys, allow me to position this. You've seen this before, and this effectively will serve as our index because I've added Doge and SHIBA as a framework that you can use for yourself, for your own strategy. So from a big picture perspective, I would say this very strongly: invest at least in Bitcoin and Ethereum as a minimum, because those have very strong fundamentals. The same grid that we've gone through, the table, the evaluation framework, the two of them will score very well. Now, in addition to that, so I almost have this 4 quadrants format, which says strong fundamentals, who I call the leaders, make sure you have some allocation. Secondly, in terms of, I don't know, I'll call them contenders, others which have strong use cases that I think are worthwhile. At the moment, I've not put anything here, but this is more, maybe I'll teach this a little bit later in terms of just simplifying, because I mean, there are 11,000 of these things and it's overwhelming. So you may want to cluster. Rather, the organizing principle is cluster it into themes that make sense to you. The next generation is really more, what are those technologies that are emerging? I call them smart, things like, that will power DeFi and all these other big ecosystems beyond a simple use case, maybe like Bitcoin, which is just doing a store of value largely, it's simple, but it's actually quite, significant and compelling. And that's why institutions are putting money in there. Things like Solana, ADA or Cardano and HBARs and the likes, probably what I consider the next generation. So think about what are those things that are theming themselves. I mean, contenders would be things that are doing payments like XRP or Stellar or VeChain, which are more looking at specific use cases. Probably Stellar, I mean, VeChain would probably fit in niche because just solving a supply chain problem. So, and then niche players could be solving a specific issue. So use this as your own tool, when you're doing your own assessments, say which are the top 5 coins I'm going to invest in my portfolio, have niche, have next generation, or whatever basket that is of interest to you. Maybe it might be Internet of Things or smart or whatever the case is. And then you have these ones which you shouldn't miss out, the first two, Ethereum and Bitcoin, but strongly Bitcoin, because at least I've taught you guys, what to invest in. I've not taught anything on Ethereum, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see whether we can teach something in the future. So I hope that's helpful for you guys from a strategy perspective. And it gives you a way of simplifying this complex landscape in terms of coins. This is just coins, by the way. We've not even gone to DeFi and the other themes I mentioned earlier. So I will go to, let's look at this meme coins. I don't know whether my screen will show up here. Can you see my screen with this meme coins?
We can see, yes.
Yeah. So if you can see here, there's a whole market, which is worth, I think this is 45, is this 45 billion or something? With a huge volume this much, but the big contenders, the top 2 are SHIBA Inu and Doge. There are others which are interesting, which follow the same format. I would highly recommend that you look at all these other ones, but the top two which are above, at least $1 billion in terms of volume, are actually SHIBA and Doge, which tells you, they have made a name for themselves. And I think they are worthwhile just looking at. There are all sorts of weird ones. Now, I'm saying, and you'll see in my closing thoughts why I'm showing you this and why you should look at it. Again, I'm not telling you must. For Bitcoin, yes, I have taught a masterclass on that. Look at Bitcoin, have a strategy for it, see how much you're going to put in there, because it's something that is institutions are even backing their money. This is still speculative. It remains speculative, but yet lovable, yet fun. So you put fun money, just like the way you go and eat McDonald's or just go and jump on a fun money should go into you can use funny. Let me not rather use shoot. You can use fun money for memes if you want to play, but serious money into proper crypto, the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I've mentioned. And the others you need to evaluate using the framework that I've shared. And yeah, I think this was just more where the prices are. This is where Bitcoin is at the moment, 66,000, and Ethereum is going 4,000. So those of you who signed up for the challenge, and if you are able to get in, would be in a good position. But I think we're still in a good space. And again, things are looking up as far as Bitcoin and these leaders here. You see the prices are they're moving quite nicely. Now let's get back to our slides. I think I just want to sorry, oops. I think I just want to continue with this. Now, in terms of summarizing, what am I saying, or what are we saying? The framework we used helps us with fundamentals. And okay, no, that's fine, Chamu. Thank you. We understand. Thank you for joining. So in wrapping up, I just want to say that memes are here to stay. Just as we will always make jokes about TV shows, politicians, kids, anything, society will make jokes about them. This is not going to go away. So memes is a trend. It's something that will remain with us. And then, people are sentimental about pets, whether it's a dog or cats or whatever. That's why you receive billions of views on cats on YouTube. And now in crypto, dogs are making headlines and making people millionaires. So these are things which are social, so from a social psychological perspective, they are maybe difficult to understand, but yet at the same time, they are things which are part of our society. And the fact that there's a lot of uptake from community perspective tells you that, and especially from a sentiment perspective, fundamentals may not be strong. They may be anecdotal, as I've indicated, but sentiment is very strong. And then the idea that somehow, for whatever reason, these people start this thing and then they run away, almost creates a creative license that you can actually use it and nobody will actually tie you to it. Nobody will be offended if you buy these coins or if you tweak it or you copy the code and just change it. And I don't know, maybe we can have our own Inu coin or whatever it is. I don't know what we like as Africans. And then, so they're here to stay. Again, they're high risk, especially if you don't do what Uli does. He only does it because he understands it. And but for now, maybe think about it not so much as a long-term strategy, but maybe a medium-term strategy or a short-term strategy in terms of buying a position, keeping it for a couple of weeks, and then exiting, as Tawanda did. So I would not really say, don't just jump in. You need a strategy. Don't just jump in. Don't jump in, please. Shiko, for your friend, don't tell your friend, hey, 1.6 million returns, jump in, my friend. No, they must look with clear eyes, and then after that, make a decision that makes sense. Don't just jump in. Yeah, any thoughts? Because I have maybe just 2 announcements before we close. Any thoughts, guys? Have you found this session useful? In fact, let me rather get feedback. Any insights? Has it been useful to you? How have you found it? Is it going to help you? And thank you, Raphael, for sharing in the group. You go ahead, Raphael.
No, I'm saying, no, this is a very important session, especially given that for those who think, looking at the price, like right now, the price is at over 66,000.
Yeah.
And you're looking to start somewhere. I think it's a window for somebody to start, and it can give you some insight on how these things work. And from the looks of it, if you have the patience, you're definitely gonna at a particular point in time, it'll go above the price that you bought in, and you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
So that's something maybe for us to see. But I had a question though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you who know Michael Slayer, right? And
Yeah,
his company, MicroStrategy.
Yeah.
MicroStrategy has I think they own over 110,000 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
And the share price is hovering at around $700.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking aloud. When Bitcoin finally hits, let's say, 500,000.
Yeah.
Isn't it prudent or wise to buy their shares right now? Because when these guys, in the next maybe 5 years, when Bitcoin maybe gets to $500,000, the valuation will be crazy. I don't know what the guys think in the group. So instead of buying Bitcoin directly, you buy the shares of MicroStrategy.
So I really like that, Rafa, because I think, remember, part of the reason why we did the summit was to say, let's think beyond coins, and that's why we teach mindset, we teach all these things, so that we're not stuck with just, oh, I bought this coin, Yep, I like that. Shiko, I'll focus on BTC and ETH, and SHIBA for fun money. So if you really look at it, and the same format, fundamentals analysis, that's what you pretty much given us to say, if these guys hold a huge trove of Bitcoin, and they have and Michael Saylor is very strong, such a strong evangelist of this. So he probably among the top, if not top guy who's been speaking about this very strongly and that's why from a masterclass perspective, some of my insights have been informed by his thinking and his convictions and just the understanding that he has. And I think it's really worth looking at this. And maybe at some point we may need to just teach a class to say, which are the emerging companies that are investing strategically into the future technologies, including crypto, and in a way that is compelling, that you might be worth you buying a stake in those companies, buying their shares and all of that. I really like that point, Rafo. Yeah. Any other comments as we head towards a close? I just have, okay, great strategy.
But what do the other guys think? I'd like to get their comments, because these guys, the one share for them is 700, right?
Yeah.
They hold over 110 Bitcoins and they're going to buy more, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the price hits, because what currently they're holding, I think, by then, so 110 times 66, I don't know how much it is. I think that's over 7 billion.
It's actually,
It's actually doubled.
Yeah.
If not tripled to some of the positions they bought the price.
Roderick, please comment. I know you have the answer.
Go
ahead.
So if it hits 500,000, don't you think it's a bargain? It's like a backdoor bargain.
Yeah. Go ahead, Roderick. I think Roderick wants to say something. He's typed something very interesting that I agree with.
Yes. I think with that, you are getting the benefit of Bitcoin at a discount price, because remember, this guy's MicroStrategy, as Bitcoin increase in value, so they will also increase in value. So I think it's a similar one that one should look at Tesla as well, because I think they're the second largest holder of Bitcoin, and with the increase in Bitcoin and things, it indirectly increases their value as well.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I agree completely.
But
so you know what, guys? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
But one should also look at MicroStrategy. What is their dividend policy? Are they giving any dividends, or are they holding on to anything, to everything?
No, it's not really about dividends, because there are companies that are known, like Amazon has never paid any dividend. Ever.
Yeah.
So Amazon it's sort of like a holder of value share, whereby it's the increase in price that basically it's a good return for you.
So that they're forcing you then, if you are getting in a bit of trouble, to sell.
Yeah, so if you, like Amazon basically has never paid, so but the price has continuously gone up higher and higher. So as in technically people have never lost money per se, because whatever position they bought in at, they're always better off. And that's why by them not paying a dividend, it's never been seen as a problem.
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking, Rafa, my feeling is that, in fact, I saw Denise comment and say this is really good in terms of the strategy, Hello, quite a number of guys have really agreed with that sentiment. I think for us, remember again, as a community, we make this knowledge available, and we seek also, we're trying as much as possible to make sure that we can help people to take action or whatever the case is. So I think it might be worth, Rafa, just to really revisit this and just really blow it out a bit further, because I know people are interested, and I think the sentiment is there, it's clear, and the value is there, it's playing out, and it's actually brilliant what I think MicroStrategy has done. So it's actually worthwhile looking at this from including it, to say this might be an entry point into Bitcoin if you don't want to hold the coin itself, or maybe over and above holding it for yourself. You may hold, in fact, I recommend that you hold some Bitcoin for yourself and perhaps expose yourself to such investors like MicroStrategy.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think, let me just wind up this way. This, I think we've seen it, those coins are available everywhere, all the mainstream exchanges. I think in terms of, that's a good question. How does it work that they don't pay dividends? So Amazon are crazy. I don't know. I have my opinions about them. So I think we've voted on this anyway. I think the ratios that you guys give us an indication. And then I think, let me just announce this part, which is on Shiba Inu. So guys, I said some coins might hit you. So I'm going to tell you what you need to do. So for coins to hit you. We are continually growing as a community. I'm going to close in 2 minutes, so don't be anxious. We've taken a little bit longer than the usual, but it's okay. Again, it's community, right? So, I can't shut it down. It's not about Tim. It's about what the community thinks and needs. Now, so we've been endeavoring to continue. As I said, SHIBA is our coin in the platform, in the community. And we are saying, if you will help us to continue to grow, we are 123 people. If you'll be the person that will invite, people between now until when we get to 200, we'll take checks in the middle, maybe at 150, and at 200, we'll put in a lucky draw. And if you're the winner, at least as a participant, you're going to get some Shiba Inu. How does that sound? So if those of you want to get some free Shiba, just invite people. That's all you do. Just invite your friend, your neighbor, whatever. All of you, every person that invites will be eligible. Invite 5 people, you're eligible. We'll include you in that lottery. We're gonna, and if it's person number 150 or whatever it is, we'll just, run. I don't know. Maybe it might even be more random than that, because we just want to spread love and cheer as we head towards Christmas. So this probably we'll wish you a Shiba Christmas instead of a merry one. So we're gonna gamify this even more with Bianca and those who are running the community, and then it's we're gonna share more. But it's as simple as that. Just invite. We'll make a note of your name, and you'll be part of that lucky draw. Great. And then I think I have one more announcement, and for next week, I don't know how it's gonna happen. But as all of you know me, I like to experiment with stuff, and it's because we just want to reach more people. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do a crypto community jam, radio jam session, whatever. We have 100 and something people, as you can see, 123. Hopefully by next week could be more. you know how this works. We are not going to be on Zoom. There's a feature called video on Telegram. We'll jump on Telegram, all of us, 100 of us, whatever, whoever will join, we'll just press the thing, you just join it on Telegram. There won't be anything to sign up to. And it will be pretty much, I think, our closing event for our sessions. Because I think, we'll just have meetings with champions going forward. And then we'll just have updates via email and the other channels on Telegram. But in terms of formal classes, this is effectively our last formal class with slides and all of that, but that will be a jam session where you can come and we can talk. In fact, I think Rafo, maybe prepare some thoughts. What Kaukela has asked on stocks and shares. We'll just have all of us, maybe a panel of experts or the team members that are here, and you can ask anything that you want to ask. It will be just a jam session on Telegram. What do you guys think? What do you think? Would that be something that would be exciting? Because we want to reach these 100 people who are part of our community who never show up, because
that's good. That's a good.
Yeah. Are you guys in?
I like it. I'm in.
Yep. So it's a jam session. It's like, come, let's make noise, scream, wish each other well. Yeah. So I think, guys, it's going to be rowdy. It's going to be fun, and then maybe we might give out some SHIBA next week. In fact, we'll see what comes up. I think with that, guys, I don't want to keep you longer. You need to go and eat dinner and all of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. It's always fun. And
thanks, Tim. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, join, invite. Let's jam. You might get some SHIBA to go and, I don't know, fund money for Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Thank you, Kaukelo. Thank you, guys. Excellent. Thank you, Ace.